What's up, Kicks of the Castle fam? Welcome to season 5, episode 11 of Kicks of the Castle. This is a podcast by 3 sneakerheads dedicated to that Disney lifestyle. As Walt would say to all those who listen to this happy podcast, welcome. As you can see, John is out today, so I'll be taking his spot. For those who don't know who I am, my name is Matt, and I'll be your host today. Even though John is out, we still got our girl Ruby.
Hey, what it do?
And today, coming in very last minute, we got the biggest foot in the Discord. Everyone, welcome back, Griffin.
The biggest foot and the youngest boy in the Discord, right?
We got a great show planned for you this week. We're going to catch up on some news items. Then we got our fit of the week. This week in Land versus World, we're going to go rogue and literally do Land versus World. And I'm actually going to take over Irv's plant-based option today. We're going to catch up with our recent trips on property, jump into the DMs. But first, as always, start off with pickups.
Pick it up, groove. Baby girl, watch how you move. I got them vests on my shoes.
Part of the show, we show this week's hit or misses, not just shoes, can be anything sneaker or Disney related. Griffin, what you got this week?
So the last time I was on, I got a couple things. Probably the most recent is I like to get a lot of fitteds, and because I'm over in Tampa Bay now, I had to get a new one. So I got Tampa Bay Rays fitted with the vintage Devil Ray logo, and then the Tampa Bay Florida patch on the side. And then also, because I'm a huge Bucks fan, I picked it up straight from Pfizer Forum in Milwaukee. The good old retro green and purple Bucks jersey. And you can tell it's from Pfizer because it has the actual sponsorship patch. And it's from my boy, Bobby Portis. And then another pickup I got recently was I was doing a little bit of stuff on Tree Block. Shout out to Chris Catalunya. And I got the Broskate Dunks.
Nice. What did you trade for those?
My Union 2s that have been just absolutely plaguing me since I got them because I've been trying to flip them for something else. So I got that. And then so both pair together.
Nice.
And then the thousands of laces that came with them. It is the most pair of laces I've ever gotten on any pair of shoes. It's like at least 10 pairs, and I'm very surprised.
Really?
Very overwhelmed. I've not decided what I want to do because I'm just so overwhelmed with all the amount of laces. I'm like, there's just too many options for me right now.
Damn, I did not know they came with
Every
that many laces.
time, yeah, me either. Every time I have a shoe that comes with too many laces, I'll do like Instagram poll and ask people, and then I never end up changing them, so I always end up with 2 different color laces.
But otherwise, that's it. I've been otherwise just chilling since then.
Dope pickups. Ruby,
Nice.
anything?
Well, I am on travel, so I actually wasn't supposed to be on today, so I have no normal pickups, but I am in the Bay Area, and if you've ever talked to me about the Bay Area and food, you know that one of my favorite places is Senor Sisig, and so I did pick up a pork Senor Sisig burrito that I have already eaten half of. So that is
dang.
this week, and it is the bomb. So whenever you're in the Bay, make sure you head up Senor Sisig because it is my absolute fave.
Dang.
That's my
I've
pickup.
seen their Instagram. Their
Yeah.
burritos look pretty damn fire.
And they have their entire menu in also a plant-based option version. So everything that you can get in their meat, they do a whole plant-based one, and their brick and mortar in Oakland is an only vegan shop, so there's no animal product in that one, but the rest of them you can get usually both. So
Interesting.
that's for Irv.
I mean, I love sisig, but I never had it in a burrito, but that sounds fire. But that's it.
That's
Save the
all
rest
I
for
got,
next
bro.
week.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm out of the drought as well. Finally. But yeah, like I said a few episodes ago, I told y'all I was gonna touch on these.
Hey.
Reimagine threes. My Foot Locker points blessed me, and my QC is actually pretty damn good. They got that thick elephant print, and they both match. The leather quality is pretty good. The only thing that is kind of bothering me a little bit, not really, but there's like glue stains where like they kind of like we're trying to match the holes. It looks like right there, but I mean overall, like these babies are clean. Like leather quality on mine is good. It seems to be pretty much the same on the left and the right pair, but I mean, I have no complaints on my pair. But yeah, very, very
Nice.
yeah. I love this pair.
I'm stoked for you.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we got Newsies.
Newsies.
This is the part of the show where we discuss the latest headlines in the Disney and sneaker world. Ruby, what you got?
All right. So, as many of you know, I'm Jewish, so I didn't really grow up doing like, Easter activities and stuff like that. But they do have this thing at Disneyland and California Adventure, which is like the extravaganza egg hunt. And I did it last year, and it's actually really fun and cute. But they decorate like these giant eggs, and they place them in different parts of the park. So if you buy the little egg hunt thing, you get like a egg paper with the stickers that match the like egg characters. And so then when you like find them, you can stick them. Obviously you could just lie and say you found them and didn't. And then at the end, they give you like a little plastic egg with like a pin or something in it. So those are coming back, which I'm excited about because I actually had a lot of fun doing that last year. Especially I feel like when you go to the park a lot, you start to think like, what do I do every time I go to the park if you're there so often? So I feel like this was one of those times where like I just observed different things in the park because I was looking for these things. And so I saw other things in the park that I hadn't seen before. So I think it's super fun and I highly recommend checking it out. I don't know if you all do something like that at World too, but
We do.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say we
it's cute.
do. Usually every festival we have something like that. Like Food and Wine is like it's like a Remy one. You have to find like Remy,
Oh,
like
cute.
where Remy is and all the pavilions. And I think you get like a special prize. I want to say Irv does that with his kids. But yeah, they do an egg one too. I've never done them, to be honest. But I have seen them. It's so cute.
They do it. They also, for right now, for Flower and Garden, they do a Flower and Garden one where you have to find Spike the Bee, and he's usually next to a bunch of different like little plants and like shows what they are. You need to find which plant is next to him and which pavilion, and then they also are doing the egg one too. And then I know that the Contemporary just started it now, but they also do giant eggs that are all made out of chocolate, kind of like how they do it for like the gingerbread houses, but they do it for eggs. And I think that the Epcot area resorts do it too.
Yep, Beach Club or Yon Beach. Yeah, those eggs are crazy. Like those people, whoever makes them are hella talented. Like it doesn't even look like chocolate. Like it looks like a toy. That's how good they are. Yeah, there's so much detail in them. It's crazy.
Did you guys ever watch that like Disney baking show where they did like contests to make like Disney related big structures out of like chocolate and cakes?
Yes,
Yeah.
I did watch the
pretty cool.
I forgot what it's called, but I watched like the first and like second episode. It's like the one where they made like Ant-Man and like a huge donut.
Yeah,
Is it that one?
they like make some it's that kind of show. Yeah, I think that's I don't know if I saw that episode, but yeah,
Was it
it was pretty
like,
rad.
family one? Because there's like a family one that was on there that like I feel like when Disney Plus either just first started or like I just remember binging it during like lockdown, and like it was like a family
same.
cooking show thing.
This one wasn't family because it was like adults that made it, and they made like big like
huge
life size.
Oh
yeah.
Like,
The only thing
like,
about that is
huge.
like it's a lot of food and
Yeah.
like it's
That goes to like
I hope they, like-
they're just like
Yeah.
thawing giant cake. Yeah,
I just hope they like donate it or something.
I
At
don't
least.
think they do. I'm pretty sure they don't. Sorry to put your bubble.
Oh man.
All
Wow.
right. So extravaganza. I think that's really fun. So I'm probably gonna check that out. And then for my sneaker news, something again for the New Balance fans. So the Action Bronson 990 whatever's, aka 990 B6 baklava. I do love me some baklava. Speaking of treats, but yeah, I guess these are coming out. They are not my cup of tea, but I feel like people are probably excited about them. What do you guys think?
Oh, I love these.
Yes,
it
yeah.
definitely gives me like a Ninja Turtle Donatello vibe, but
See, I don't know why, but it gives
They're
me
fire.
like almost like a Wave Runner type like feel to it, just because like the weird like clashing
I could see
colors and the
that.
kind of the silhouette. I usually don't like New Balances at all, but I feel like Adrian has tainted
Wow.
my mind to actually come to the dark side and try them for the first time. So these might be my first New Balance purchase, depending how lucky I get on the drop day.
He's gonna be so happy to hear that.
I think these would have already been dropped by the time this episode drops. But yeah, I mean, these are probably I know that he's all about his comfort. And these are probably gonna be hella comfortable. I don't own any of his previous ones, but these are it for me.
I think he only had one other. Action Bronson had one with Adidas, and apparently it wasn't a good deal at all because he just like literally just dropped something just to get out of the deal with them. It was like a Real Tree like Adidas collab or something with him, and he just is like, I don't want to be with you guys anymore, and that's why he went over to New Balance now.
I didn't even know that.
It was on his I forgot which. I think they did the new sneaker run or whatever, the full size run. They talked about it with him, and he kind of like briefly mentions it.
Well, I think it's cool for him. I feel like they definitely look like his vibe, so I feel like it's good for his fans. But yeah, I think there's just too contrasty with the colors, like the neons and then like the browns don't do it for me. But I could see why people like them.
What's funny is I watched the episode too, and I think it was Trinidad James that asked him like, so what was your thought process, like what was the color scheme with this? And he was like, to be honest, like there was no inspiration. I just put some colors together and that's what I came up with. And I was like, damn, that's tight, I guess.
It's like honestly the most Action Bronson response ever. Just
like no real storyline about it. It's just I just threw some colors together and that's what you got.
Well, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's all you got?
That's all I got. Oh wait, one more on behalf of the dude James. So for you worlders out there, y'all are getting character visits with Moana and Mirabelle, which is pretty exciting. We'll see if your Mirabelle's as good as the Disneyland one, because the one in Disneyland is on point. You cannot convince me that is not Mirabelle in the flesh. She looks so good, but I don't know if when they do those characters for y'all, if they have like a special designated area, but the area that's decorated for Mirabelle here is like really pretty, even to take pictures when she's not there. So yeah, I'm excited for y'all. That'll be really cute stuff.
I'm sure they will, as far as like an area for them to, or for us to meet them. Honestly, they probably did this just to hype up. I don't even know what that part of Epcot is with the Moana side. For
the Mirabelle, I think she's replacing Merida's spot. I think Merida's getting kicked out and they're going to put her into that. I think it's like the Fantasy Gardens they're going to call it now or something like that, but it's like right next to the castle there.
Me and Griffin rode the monorail last week and we rode past that area, the Moana. What is it called? Do you know what it's called?
Journey of Water?
Yeah, Journey of Water. And that place looks wild. Like it looks crazy good. Yeah. I cannot wait till it opens. Yeah.
Damn, that sounds
but yeah,
cool. When is it
probably
slated to open?
Fall now.
Fall?
I think
this year?
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought it was gonna be sooner, but I think they're gonna open that and the Communicore, which is gonna be the other part that's gonna be new in Epcot, and they're gonna open both of them in fall. It sounded like now.
That's probably why they brought Moana out, so they can hype her up till the land opens.
That's cool.
But all right, anything else?
That's all I got.
All right. So last week, I said that, or I brought up that Supreme and Nike are bringing back a dunk. So yes, the rumors are true, and they dropped the images. So yeah, it is I hope I'm saying this right, Rommel Z dunks. It's a dunk high and a dunk low. The high is like a white upper, mostly suede, and like a gum bottom with like some, I don't even know, some crazy artwork. And then the black pair is like a black suede with a gum bottom with like similar artwork. For me, I think both of these pairs are dope. I'm kind of feeling the lows better than the highs, but still the highs are still fire. I know a lot of people in the Discord have been talking about these, and yeah, these are it. What do you guys think?
The lows for sure. I love the black on the toe and the black midsole with the gum. Black midsole with a gum bottom is like one of my favorite things ever. So yeah, these are probably one of those things that I might use my Go credit on if I can't get them.
I think that they're both really awesome. I like both pairs. I can't decide which one I like more, just because I think that they both have like different art styles on them that I really enjoy both for. But all I can say is if knowing it's going to be Supreme drop, they're probably going to be a size 13 at max. That's usually how Supremes are.
Dang.
Yeah.
Sorry, man.
Rip Griff.
They look nice. Hey, I'll enjoy them vicariously through everyone that hopefully gets them that I know.
Yeah, I hope I'm there's no release date, but yeah, hella excited about these. But yeah, next up I got Disney joined South by Southwest. To be honest, I thought South by Southwest was a music festival. I didn't know they did this stuff too. But yeah, they dropped some new technology, I guess. It was like a robot. Damn, what's her name?
That shit was wild. Judy.
Yeah, Judy Hopps, robot Judy Hopps, and the new lightsaber, which is crazy. I mean, both, like, I don't even know if I should be scared or not of that robotic Judy Hopps because it was a little bit terrifying, but it was cool at the same time.
Why?
But yeah.
I have questions. Like, okay, Judy girl, what's happening with you? Why are you tripping over your feet like that? Go head first to the ground. Like, was there not a better way for them to show us what she was capable of without her, like, head diving into the ground? And then, like, this man's got her on the shoulders, and I don't know. It was all kinds of weird. I love robots, but I was like, I don't know about my girl Judy. She's weird. She kind of creeps me out.
Yeah, I didn't really read much on it. I just watched the video, but I don't know if like an AI is controlling that or is someone actually controlling that. But yeah, that is crazy. Cool, but yeah, it is kind of scary a little bit for me.
It gives that Boston Dynamic Lab, like, where the uncanny valley of it, just like it's just like getting kicked over and stuff like that and just popping right back up again.
Yeah, but yeah, that lightsaber is freaking fire too.
Dream up things like this.
I honestly don't even know, like, how do they even get it to light up like that? I guess maybe a hologram, but who knows what the price point is going to be on that.
I don't know, bro.
I'm gonna say close to 500 because I mean the ones that you build at Savi are like 200, and then with the technology in this one, I'm gonna say at least 500. But
say for my legacy one I got, that was like, I think 250. It was a legacy one, so you have to buy the hilt and the actual saber itself. But still, yeah, I think.
But base, you actually did Savi's workshop, or
it's I just bought the ones that like are pre-made because I got the one from the Jedi Fallen Order. So it's just you would buy like the hilt and then you have to buy the saber as well, and like total for both of them was like 250-ish. So
yeah, because I know with Savi's workshop, I think the base is like 220, 200, and then I think like there's like different add-ons that you can like pay for, right? But yeah, the new one looks freaking wild. I'll probably buy that one because it looks crazy. Well, probably not at $500, but well, let's see how much it is when it comes out. But like, very excited to see it in person.
Yeah, me too.
But all right, moving on. So on to fit of the week.
Everything that I do in life is supreme. Shoes, supreme. Shirt, supreme. Taco Bell, supreme.
Every week we pick a post that we're tagged or where the hashtag Kicks of the Castle is used. And this week it is our homie Adrian OG 96, chilling in Carsland with the off-white University Red Dunk lows and a vintage car tee. Very fire fit from the homie. My guy got his signature walking pic, even though he's not even really walking. But yeah, be sure to use the hashtag Kicks of the Castle and tag us for a feature in your Disney fit pics in the park or not. All right, so it is time for Land versus World.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Each week, we pick a landmark or aspect from Walt Disney World or Disneyland and decide which park has it better. This week, we are literally going to talk Disney World versus Disneyland as a whole. Griffin, you've never been to Disneyland, but why do you love Disney World so much?
Wow. That is a very open question. I don't know. I just love just like I know this is a thing that like people who are like Disneyland locals or go to Disneyland primarily, they look at Disney World and say it's just so large. Like I don't know what to do if I were to go there and stuff like that. But like I feel like the expansiveness and just like how big it is actually is like what causes the allure for me, just for the fact that like there's just so many things to do there. Like last week Matt and I we did 4 parks in one day, and like that takes up your whole day, but like it was just fun to go to every single park and get a completely different experience from each one. And there's 4 of them, so just that in itself, there's 4 different parks. Each one just has so much to do at each park, and not even just that, but like the hotels that you can go to, there's so many different experiences at each hotel, and there's like little fun things. Even just chilling there is so much fun. Even just going to like Disney Springs is so much fun. Like there's just so much. Even mini golf, like there's mini golf, there's a golf course. It's just expansive, and I think that's the thing I love. And also, of course, just like I said, I haven't been to Disneyland yet, keyword yet, but I just love the expansiveness of it.
Ruby?
Well, I feel personally targeted by your statement of the expansiveness comment, because that is always my biggest comment about World. I think you made some really valid points, because where I think Disneyland lacked is some of that outside of the park experience. So the resorts, the mini golf, I think brings is really nice. But when it comes down to like the park itself, Disneyland, there is just a feeling that I feel like the more and more I talk to people, it's like if you know that Disneyland feeling, it's not even something I feel like I can explain, but like it just has a vibe that maybe it's the nostalgia. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just some Walt magic in the air, but there's just a vibe that you feel when you're there that like I have never felt that yet at World. And it's not because I don't love World or have a good time there, but I think Disneyland is like a hug of magic, and being at Disney World is like a wow of magic. It's like, wow, like everything is so like stimulating. But like when you're in Disneyland, it just feels like you're being hugged with magic. And I think that like for me, why I can go over and over and just be like, this is like comfort and like happiness, and like everything is familiar, and I get to see everything that I want. I can know every time I go to Disneyland, like if there's something I love to see, I can make sure that I see it every single time I go without it like impacting the rest of what I need to do. And I don't know. That's just a vibe for me. I'm a lander through and through.
I got this really out of pocket thing to say, and I'm so sorry. I'm going to say it in advance, but that condensed hug is because it's so tiny and small that everything's so condensed, and that's the hug feeling. I'm just kidding.
You know what? As a person with anxiety who loves like weighted blankets and stuff, like Disneyland is my weighted blanket, and I'm here for it. I'm here for the tininess.
Oh,
That is a perfect analogy of that. It is like a weighted blanket for real. But yeah, you guys know me. I mean, I live in Disney World. Disney World will always be my home. I was born and raised here. It never gets old. But just Disneyland, I agree with you. It definitely does have a different vibe to it. Like you just can't explain to it. Or I just can't explain it. I will say this. Disney World is 100 times better when you have kids compared to Disneyland. Like I feel like Disneyland and DCA is more like if you're like the Disney adult where you just go to Disney, just chill, just vibe, laid back, whatever. But if you have a family with kids, like Disney World is definitely where you want to be. So I can see why Irv and James love Disney World, because there's a lot to do and there's a lot for kids to do. But when you're child millennial like us, I mean, just Disneyland just has that vibe. I mean, there's better food, there's less people, better weather, so much easier to park hop. And it's like you don't have to think when you go to Disneyland. Like you're like more free. But at Disney World, it's like you got to plan things strategically. Like last week when we were doing the 4-park challenge, we were like, okay, how do which park should we go to first? Which park should we go to second? And it was just like so much things you have to think about. But when you're at Disneyland, it's just so much more laid back. And yeah, I just feel like Disney World, I still love Disney World. I mean, I live here, but it's just like Disneyland just like you said, it's like that anxiety, like a weighted blanket. It's like they make everything over there with love. And then Disney World is like, I don't know. But yeah, Disneyland definitely has my heart for sure.
I will
I
say
feel like-
Disney World has better service though, because
Yes,
at
I was gonna mention that too.
Disneyland, at Disneyland, it's like they're like, these fools, y'all like unfavorable guests. Like Disney World knows there's so many tourists that they really put on like the top-notch service. They're like, this bitch is back again, like all over her shit, getting millions of hand pies. Like, we ain't gonna like be that nice to her. And I'm like, damn, I need my Disney magic in here. Like, y'all better be right. So I will give Disney World that for sure.
And I feel like that's what kind of adds to like the difference between the two, like the homey feel that's at like Disneyland in comparison to like Disney World, just kind of seeing like a completely different feel from that, and like doesn't have that homey feel to some people. Is I feel like Disneyland has like so many more AP, and it's kind of been like ingrained in like the SoCal culture and California culture in general, that everyone has an AP, and that AP members are like, you know, just everyone does it when you go there. Whereas comparison to like Florida, they're kind of not really, they're not celebrated or like talked about, or like you just don't see like everyone go to hang out at the parks and stuff like that. I mean, we have the rare occasion where it's Who Kicks the Castle, like everyone like sees each other that like knows to go there, but like it's more of like a destination, a travel, rather than like a home to most people. So
yeah, that's actually an interesting perspective, because a lot of people that I've like come across on the internet, I have like randomly also come across in the park, because it's so small that it's like, oh, I know this person from Instagram just because we like follow the same shit and we like come across. And then it's like you make friends with these people because you're like, oh, hey, blah, blah. And like when Coco was on here, right? That's what she talked about. Like one of her best friends now is someone that she just like saw on Instagram and was like, hey, I'm trying to get into Lamplight Lounge. Like, I know you're always here. Like, help me out. And now they're like really good friends. And I feel like you probably run into people in Disney World, but like it probably doesn't happen at the like frequency or rate that it does here. Like even we had Janelle on the pod, right? And I was like, oh, I'm trying to run into you sometime at the park. And then like, sure enough, one day I'm like walking one direction, she's going the other. I'm like, hey girl, what's up? Give her a hug. Like we keep it moving. And so I think like that again is to your point, Griff, like it's so ingrained in SoCal culture of like everyone's pass holder. People would come after work, they just like go randomly. So it's like, yeah, it's really it's a pass holders park, and maybe some tourists are there.
Yeah, that is very true, because every time I go to Disneyland, like I always run into someone that I know, and like not even trying, it's like almost guaranteed. Like here at Disney World, like you have to like hit someone up to like find them or like run into them, but over in Disneyland it's like you have to try to not see someone. Like yeah. It's crazy. Like if you go like try to do a solo trip, it's not really a solo trip because you're gonna run to somebody, you know.
That just reminded me, once we were in the park and Luigi got an airdrop on his phone, and it was a picture of some dude, and it was like, I'm doing a solo day at Disney, who wants to hang out with me? And he was like, why is this person's picture in my phone? I was like, what? So you can make new friends at Disneyland anytime, apparently.
That's funny. Oh, that now that you say that, I totally forgot. Right after we got the avocado toast at Brunch Caught last week, or 2 weeks ago, whatever, someone came up to me and was like, hey, you're a Disney hype beast. And it was like because like we were like rushing to like find a table. I felt bad because I was like, oh hey, hello. I didn't even like stop to talk to her. So whoever you are, I'm so sorry. I have no idea who you are, but whoever you are, next time I'll stop and chat.
Yeah.
as a bystander, and that it was hilarious because it was just like, oh hi, and just kept walking.
I mean, to be fair, we were in like a very, I mean, we were rushing, and then like we were in like a very like bottleneck like place, kind of.
Yeah, it was going from like the connections to like over by like where Cool Wash / Brunch Got is now. So it's like a narrow pathway for like one person each way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and since you're not used to that, it's like it catches you off guard, like you said, right? Like I'm so
it caught me very
when
off
you
guard.
when you said like it's almost impossible to not run into people, that's how I really feel. Like every time I go, even if I don't stop them or they don't stop me because we're too far apart, like I always see somebody that I've either seen a bunch of times in the park or that I know. Like I'll be getting on the tram and then it's like Carl's on the tram and then it's like we're riding the tram together, or like even Jeff from Orlando was like in the park and I just like bumped past into him, and I'm just like, it's so, you really do have to like hide to not see somebody that you like recognize from before that you know.
Yeah. Well, speaking of trips, let's move on to trips and drips. is a part of the show where we catch up on our recent trips on property, talk about the shoes that we wore, food you ate, rides, etc. I'm gonna go first because I did not go this week. I plan to go probably this weekend. I know Em's been talking about going to Flower and Garden again, so try to do that. But Griffin, have you been to the parks recently?
So I was in the parks. I actually went on Saturday. My fiance and I had our AP preview for TRON. And so we kind of made a whole day out of it. We started off at Springs. We went to try to get Gideon's cookies, and the weekends for Gideon's are just absolutely abysmal. They're always going to be virtual queue, especially because spring break started. So I feel like I think it was like 4-hour wait. We got there at like 1 o'clock.
Jeez.
And we wouldn't have actually gone to get into the queue until like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, I think is when we actually got the message to come back. So we
Just go to the one. Let's go to that other
downtown.
location.
Yeah, you can literally drive downtown, go back and forth 3 times, and you still probably wouldn't even get the call. So we ended up going to, we just kind of was like, we'll just go to Magic because that's actually where we wanted to go anyway. So we went to Magic. We were going to go on Pirates, and then all of a sudden it bumped up to like a 60-minute wait out of nowhere. It was supposed to be half an hour when we got there, and also it was 60. So we're like, well, let's just go to Tiki Room. So we went to Tiki Room, and as soon as we got done with that, it was perfect timing because we actually had dinner reservations at Whispering Canyon over at the Wilderness. It is all you care to enjoy barbecue. They have a couple options. My fiance and I, we both got one of each. There's the one called a Piggy, which is piggy wings, pork belly, pulled pork, ribs, and I think like almost like a hot link sausage. And then the traditional is the same thing, except it's with brisket instead of pork belly and chicken instead of the piggy wings. And so she got that one, I got mine. And then we're just swapping stuff back and forth to try.
Was that part of the all you can eat?
Yeah. You basically, what it is you order like a skillet. So you order whatever skillet you want, and I think they kind of figured out that like one person's gonna go one skillet, one person will get the other skillet, so they just bring it out for the table together. Like we already know you're gonna share stuff. Like we doesn't pay to like try to police that at all. So
Did you ask for ketchup?
No. That was actually the funny thing is my fiance had no idea about any of like the jokes that they do, kind of like how it's like almost like a Dick's Last Resort kind of thing. And so we just sat down, and all of a sudden the person who's going to be our waitress yelled to her, and I was like, go get me some ketchup, this family needs some ketchup. And my fiance had no idea what she was like, why that was happening, and she turns and looks at her and is like, am I going to be getting some of that tip? So she was just not ready for it at all. And then the lady was like, no, you're just supposed to go and get it. And then my fiance was just like, I'm good, thank you, and just kind of just like chill. And then that was actually our waitress for the night too. So she was very nice afterwards. It was just kind of just funny because like it is funny too because she turned to me and she was just like, yeah, we're not gonna come back here again. After that, after that happened, like literally after that happened, so I don't want to come back here again. Like I don't like this, because she's also like not like the most like social person when it comes to like things like that. So she was just like, yeah, I don't like that. And then like we started eating the food and it was delicious, and she's like, okay, I will come back here once or twice on occasion, So, but it was good.
I feel that though.
But
I don't like interaction stuff like that. So I feel but if the food is good enough, it's like go back. But
don't eat at 50s prime time then.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna make you make the table. They're gonna make you eat your vegetables. If you don't eat your vegetables, they're gonna make you stand up and sing My Little Teapot. And
Nope. I will not. I will not do that.
But
it's for the experience.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I love 50s prime time too, just because of that stuff. But otherwise, Whispering Canyon was good. They have 2 other options. There's like one that has like a fish, and then a couple like plant-based things. Probably like they're more like a pescatarian thing if you want to get that. And they do have a fully plant-based one. I just don't feel like paying full price for the plant-based when I can just get actual like ribs and stuff like that. So I ended up just,
if it's all you can eat, you can't just tell them to bring out a skillet. Oh, they have to bring out the skillet that you asked for?
Yeah, you only get the ones you ask. At least that I know of. I'm pretty sure you only get the ones you ask for. Say, if you had like 4 people at a table and each person ordered like one of the things, I'm sure you could just swap everything and just try it. But like, it was just us two.
What if you finished your skillet? What if you finish your skillet? Then can you order? But you can't ask it for a different skillet. You
have to stick with the one. At least that I know of. I think you have to stay at the same one. But I think that I heard anyone try to flip it. You might be able to. I mean, honestly, I could see them just being like, yeah, whatever. But yeah, otherwise you have to like ask for like after we just first started eating, the waitress came back like, okay, what do you want to put an order in for your next meal? And they're just like, oh, already, okay, yeah, we'll take one of these, and then she put the order in, and then another waiter came back and just gave us our stuff. So
is it all the same price for all the different types of skillets?
I believe they're all, I think it was 36 a person, and they also take AP too, which was nice. So yeah, like it was like 36 per skillet. So
oh, that's not bad.
No, it's not terrible at all.
Yeah, if it's all the same, I don't see a reason why. Yeah, I don't see a reason why they can't switch it if it's all the same price.
Yeah, I honestly think that they should, but I just didn't try because I was too obsessed with just the piggy wings and the hot links had me. So, but yeah,
you were on
and of course
diet.
Yep, exactly. Just fully just meat. That's it. But then after that, of course, we decided that would be a great idea to go to before we actually went and did our AP preview for TRON. So we went over to back over to Magic. After that, we took the boat ride. The boat from from the Wilderness Lodge to Magic. It was like perfectly at sunset. It was just absolutely beautiful. So we got to just see that on the way back. So that was nice. But we got in line for TRON. I was worried because I'm a big dude and I have big legs. So I was very concerned about it because I've heard a lot of people having issues with getting on TRON just because of the seats being a little bit more restrictive than what everyone thought they were going to be. And I did the tester seat and I went on, so that I felt really good about it. Went on and I was completely I had no issues at all. I feel like if you're a little bit taller and a little bit more built, like you're fine, just because the fact that like I feel like the majority of issues when people are like a little bit more stout and shorter is when that kind of issue happens. Because for me, the bar, because what it is there's no like actual like lock. What it is you pull down on this thing and it goes behind your legs to lock them in place basically. And for me, it lined up perfectly with where my knees are. So it just perked out perfectly, and it was fun. I'd give it a solid 7.5 out of 10. It was fun. It was cool to do because it just the launch is the best part of it, and like the whole experience of the queue and getting digitized and stuff like that was cool, but it's just so quick. It was literally like done. It was just like you do like one launch, a couple of zigzags, and it's like okay, and you're done. So like, oh, all that for that. So it was fun. It was cool. But after that, then we just we caught the fireworks at the tail end, watching enchantment on the People Mover. We did a couple rides and just went home because we had to drive all the way back here to Tampa. So yeah, and that was it. Oh, and then I wore because I didn't want anything to get creased completely, so I wore my acronym Vapor Max Monks.
Yeah, so I know I always talk about like comfort of shoes, and everyone's always like, you say everything's comfortable. I actually think like the Vapor Max is the one shoe that like, it's not that it's uncomfortable for me, but because they're like slightly like flat formed and like the bubbly bottoms, I feel like I never have full balance, and I always feel like I'm gonna twist my ankle in them. So I have like one pair of Vapor Max, but I don't really wear them that often. But I love the ones you have.
Do you have the off-white
you were wearing? No, I just had like a regular old like Flyknit pair. I would have gotten the off-white ones, but I knew that I don't really like wearing them because of the Flyknit ones I have. Which they're, like I said, they're comfortable, but I always feel like I'm gonna twist my ankle when I wear them. I don't know why. I just don't like. I'm clumsy, I think, so I feel like I'm always off balance. But I was also glad you mentioned the comfortability because I know you're tall, so I was like wondering how you felt riding it.
The other thing that does suck about that is that the load system is very weird, and they kind of try to, at least for the AP preview even too, they kind of rush you. So my fiance had a little bit of issue trying to get actually into the seat just in general, just because, not even like because she didn't fit, it was just because like they were just like trying to rush you to get on and like to get numbers going, because I think that they're at the end of the night. I also rode at night, which is it was fantastic to ride at night, but because of like the quickly trying to rapid get through people, I think that kind of just like stresses people out, so they're trying to do it, and then they're just like, okay, you would just have to go to the other line. So but she was able to ride it and she had no issues on it. But yeah, I think that's another issue that's probably going to pop up when it comes to launch day, is them just trying to rapid fire people through. People get uncomfortable, get seated in weird, and they just kind of just like, okay, we'll just go back to the other seat, because there is like the other seat that's in the back for people who can't fit in, and then I think for handicap accessible as well.
Yeah, well, that would stress me out. That's scary. I don't like when people rush me to do things. I like to get in panic mode.
They're probably just rushing because it was the end of the night too.
Yeah. Oh, and the last thing I wore my Good Luck Charm Marquette socks that I have, because I'm a huge Marquette basketball fan. It's where I went to college, an alumni, Reynosa, Hoya. And as you can see by my jersey today, but I was wearing the socks because it was the Big East championship. So I had to throw that in there too.
Nice. Ruby,
Always representing. I did not. It was my off weekend because I knew I had this business trip this week. So I was not going this weekend, and then someone in the Discord offered that thing, that like lamplight cocktail class thing, which I didn't even know was a thing. And I wish I had seen it, because I actually was kind of bored on Saturday, and I would have gone if I had seen it earlier. But I am going on this Saturday, so I'm gonna go. John said he wasn't going last week. He said it was his off week also, and then I seen his ass there was on Sunday, so I was like, got too bored, fool. Like, you're supposed to be off this week. So now then I was kind of salty that I didn't go, because I was kind of bored over the weekend. So, but I will report back next week.
Nice. Well, speaking of John, let's move on to his favorite segment of the show, Irv's plant-based option of the week.
I ain't eating no beef, cause you know that I'm a vegan. I ain't eating no beef, compassion's what I believe in.
And this week, it is hosted by me. So last week I did say that I did try the Impossible Lumpias, which were very fire. They were almost exactly as the same thing. For those who don't know, lumpia is a very, very fire Filipino spring roll. Basically, the real ones come with like pork, and you can mix like different kinds of like vegetables, which like carrots and onions and peas and garlic, and it's all like shredded and mashed together and then put in a well, the specific style is called Shanghai lumpia, where it's all like shredded together or blended together and then put in a like egg roll wrap. But obviously in this one, in the Epcot version or Flower and Garden version, is Impossible meat. So me going into it, I'm thinking like it's going to be like crunchy, and like when I got it, they were soft. But then I thought about it, I'm like, dang, this is actually like real life, like Filipino party for those that like, you know, that are just chilling and then walk over to the table, walk over to the food spread, and then pick up a lumpia that's been sitting in those foil tins, and you know, it's kind of like room temperature, but you dip it in the sauce and it's like kind of soggy, but it's still fire. And it was exactly like that, but it's plant-based. And I was like, damn, this is pretty good. But yeah, you get like 5 of them. It's like $5.50, pretty good deal. Honestly, it's probably like one of the better like value deals that you can get at Flower and Garden, which I noticed that a lot of them, they kind of like downsized on the amount that they give you. But I mean, for 5 lumpias for $5.50, that's a pretty dang good deal. I definitely highly recommend, especially if you're Filipino and you want to try plant-based lumpias, like for sure get that.
Do like a sip and savor pass thing for the Flower and Garden? No, you just buy everything a la carte.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing is, you know, they don't have like where you rip off the tabs and give them. No, I think that's only food and wine. But all right, before we wrap up, I got a question for y'all. So I think it was like last month or a few weeks ago, I don't know if you guys heard, but some guy broke a record going to Disneyland for 2,995 straight days in a row to Disneyland. That math comes out to, or breaks down to 8 years, 3 months, and 13 days. So my question for you guys is, what's the longest you guys have gone consecutively to the parks? And how much is too much going to Disney for you? Whoever wants to go first.
It won no 2,909 days, I can tell you that. I think probably the longest I've gone is probably like, I want to say like to land is probably like 5 days consecutively. And I feel like that's a long time for land. World, when I was younger, I feel like I went for like a week. So I feel like probably a week there. I mean, I feel like I don't think he's probably like going in and grabbing a snack or whatever because he lives around the corner. So I feel like I could go if I lived really close where it was like, oh, I could go grab a snack from there, or I could like get an apple pie from McDonald's. Like I would go there all the time and just like pick up random food shit. So I feel like I would actually go a lot if I lived really close. So I don't know that I'd go that often, but I feel like I'd probably go like every day during like a work week if I live close enough.
Honestly,
you,
I think for me, the biggest or like the longest amount that I went for like at one time is back when I was younger. We'd go for like 10 days at a time to Disney World just because there's, like I said before, there's a lot to do. So, and we're on vacation too, so we would just take 10 days and just come down and just kind of do a bit of everything, do a Universal too. So for usually it'd be, I think that was like our longest one that we did was like 10 days. But kind of what Rui said too is that like I feel like if I was closer, like if I was in like for like Orlando geography, Windermere is like right next to Magic Kingdom. If I was in like Windermere, like one of those like kind of things like right celebration, if I was like right next to the parks, I would probably go every day just for the fact that like it's something to do. I enjoy the parks. Just being in the actual theme park like makes me happy. So I feel like I would just go even just like to chill or even like just get a snack or something like that. Even just like to ride one ride a day or something like that. I think that I would definitely be down almost to do that. I think that should be kind of fun to like do as a challenge. I don't know for necessarily every day for 8 years because you know there's other things to like in life that pop up. But yeah, I think I think I could do that for like you know like a month straight of like going every single day if I was a little bit closer to the parks.
Yeah, I think the longest I've ever done consecutively was like 3 or 4 days at both here at Disney World and at Disneyland. Because yeah, last time I was there, I want to say it was 4 days in a row. And then here, I feel like it's easier if you're actually staying on property. Obviously, because I guess that's why it was so easy for John, because I mean he lived right next to he was here for 37 days or was it 32? I don't know, something crazy. But yeah, he was there for however many days he was, and literally he would go to the parks like right before work. For me, I mean, I used to live like right next to the parks, but I mean I have work, so I couldn't really like either go before or go after, so it was usually like a weekend type thing. I mean sometimes I would go, but there's no way I could go like every single day or like consecutively. But I mean, I don't know how much would too much be, because I feel like I could go every day. Like how you said, Griffin, like I feel like a month would be like enough, but I couldn't do more than that because like other stuff comes up.
Oh yeah, well, especially like just
like never go on vacation
Orlando.
or anything.
Yeah, like, even just like life things. Like I had to go to the hospital today, but you know I still had to get that Disney check-in. Streak alive. Broke my leg, but I gotta do it. I gotta do it for the streak.
His streak did have COVID break in it though, right? Because like for them.
Oh, that is true. Yeah, that is interesting. I don't know.
This man's found a loophole. He's like 8 years straight, but I took a 2-year break.
You just just stepped on like downtown Disney property or whatever it's called.
Yeah, it could be
on it, but I don't know if that meant like, I don't know if the article meant like actually walking into the park or I don't know.
Speaking of that, as a little flashback moment, at the time of this recording, technically speaking, it was the last day that Disney World was open before they closed for the pandemic.
March 16th, yeah.
Because my family and I were living down here at the time, and we went to go and we did all 4 parks in one day, just to say we did that before, and then we watched Happily Ever After, and then literally the next day everything was closed.
Yeah, it's like right around this time is like 3 years.
Yeah, Disneyland closed first, right? Or did you guys close after us?
I think they closed at the same time.
I think we closed maybe like a few days before, like a week before. That's why.
Yeah, that's crazy. 3 years ago.
Yeah, it popped up on my Snapchat memories. I'm just like, oh wow, it's been 3 years.
Yeah, wild times.
For real. But look at all the friends we made in this time.
Yeah.
Hey. Amazing.
Shout out Kicks at the Castle fam. Well, is that it?
That's all we got, bro.
That's all we got. All right. Well, that's it, guys. That wraps up the show. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a review for us. Check out the YouTube. If you aren't already, DM us to join the Kicks at the Castle fam on the Discord. We are Kicks at the Castle. You can follow us on Instagram. Wait, did I say that already? Don't forget to tag us and use the hashtag Kicks at the Castle. My name is Matt. And you can find me on Instagram at the Disney Hype Beast. Ruby, how can the listeners find you?
Y'all can find me on Instagram at Rube, ROOBFF.
And Griffin, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at big_drip_griff.
And you can find Papa John at Weekends with Walt. We are Kicks at the Castle. Till next time. Peace.
MICK.